Thank you for meeting us on such short notice. Leon here is part of our IT department at iPremier and is here to listen to what you guys have to say. So Leon, this is Zach. He worked on the Heartland breach a couple of years ago. And this is Jay. He's from Japan, Tokyo, who worked on the PlayStation Network breach.
No problem. What seems to be the issue?
So, yesterday we had an attack on our system. Not a simple DDoS attack, but an intrusion. And the thought of our customers' credit card information was going to be stolen. But then the attack stops at the last minute. We aren't sure why the attack stopped, but it gave us a good indication of how we need to improve our security in case of another attack in the future.
That was a lucky escape. That's quite all. What seems to be the issue in security so far? We have done work similar to this in the past, so we have experience in these kinds of events.
Well, when the attack started, it took us by surprise, and we couldn't work together to fix the issue at hand. We didn't have a disaster recovery plan, or any plan of any sort in place in case of emergencies such as this. So we were left frantically trying to work out how to stop the attack. Joanne had one in her car, but it was out of date anyway.
So there's your first problem. Make an actual disaster recovery plan and practice it so that you know it works. And repeat it until it functions properly. Make sure it accounts for all possible risks that you might face and how to avoid or fix them. This will avoid the confusion among you, as you will have a set plan with roles for each member on how to stop such an attack.
Okay, great. We'll get on top of that right away. We weren't really sure whether to just pull the plug completely to stop the attack or to leave it so we could try and get the system up and running again as fast as possible and try to work out what actually happened.
We didn't want the same thing happening again and possibly going public, so we wanted to keep the system on so we could find out what exactly happened and how to prevent it in the future.
It really depends on the situation as to whether turning the system off completely is a good idea. I worked on getting Sony's PlayStation Network back up and running after the data breach, and their method was to completely shut down the system to fix its security holes. But they were already having massive amounts of data stolen, so it was necessary to pull the plug completely.
If we were in the same situation, I think we would have done the same thing. We could have pinpointed the source of the problem easier if we had logging data enabled, but since we have low disk space and the cost of an upgrade was too much, we didn't enable it.
Okay, so as soon as possible, upgrade your disk space capacity so that you have data logging enabled. This is essential as it can determine the points in your system security where it needs improving, and it'll make it easier to prevent future attacks. I did some work at Heartland payment systems, and they were attacked by SQL injection. So after the attack, we went through how the attack was executed and the holes in the security where the attackers could slip through, and we updated its infrastructure and partnered with a better information sharing analysis center. We also used end-to-end encryption for more secure data protection.
Yeah, I think it's time sharing providers from CUDA to someone else. Even though Raj has good relationship with them, they provided a pretty sloppy service and wouldn't even let us in when all this was happening. We could also improve our infrastructure, like the Heartland, and change to using a proper server instead of a router.
Absolutely. Target was similar to QData. It's not picking up on the breach in time. And when they had the data breach, the weak security allowed intruders into the system, and the staff didn't even pick up on the intrusion. The controls in the network were also too weak, so they were too late when they did realize what was happening. They had to improve their security after the attack, much like what you will have to do.
I'll have to make sure we install a proper firewall on the server as well when we change to using one instead of a router. This is probably part of the problem too.
Exactly. Well, we'd better get a start on fixing these issues so if another attack happens, you'll be well protected. You don't want these kinds of things getting out to the media, and you don't want to lose a large amount of customers.
Okay, good. Sounds great. Let's keep this under wrap and let's get it done.